What we do here is go back.
Right, what's going on, boys? Welcome to a brand new video. So today we're on TC's private soundtracks by Typical Canadian. That's what TC stands for in the name. And yeah, I saw some pictures. It literally just come out on mods, I think yesterday or today. I literally loaded up mods this morning and it was on there. So shout out Typical Canadian giving us all a soundtrack before Southwick. And I really need to get some practice in. As you guys know, I'm not the best at sound whatsoever. So I think for Typical Canadian to be dropping a soundtrack like the week of Southwick is really going to help me a lot. And it would not surprise me if there's quite a few lobbies going up on this track in the next few days leading up to Southwick. I know a lot of people have been riding the TFC Southwick versions. Yeah, that's the run that I missed on holiday last year at the time of Southwick. So, whoa, what the hell happened to that? Oh yes, I do want to say as well, I have just cleared my cache yesterday night. As you guys may or may not know, I spent about 9 days playing with Linz doing his donate-a-thon. So I'm sorry if things are like loading in really weird. Yes, it's loading everything back in again. I had no cache. I had 32 gigabytes something, I think it was, because literally been playing like mod tracks for the last 9 days, just literally downloading like 20 to 30 tracks every single day. So yeah, you know, that takes a lot of cache and it clears up a lot of space for me clearing it. So yeah, I'm sorry if some things do look like they're loading in a bit differently. I'm not sure if it is the track or if it is my cache loading in, but that is the reason if it does look a little bit dodgy every now and then, or some colours are changing. But yeah, we're on the KTM 450 once again, Triumph model swap. And yeah, I'm on a setup that Dylan has sent me. I've asked Austin to send me sound setup just to try and like get used to one, basically. I like to have a setup good 2 days before aerial, because it gives me time to sort of learn it, practice it, and get used to, you know, like how it works, and if it like kicks out, how easy it is to bring back, and just little things like that, just like a comfortability factor to it. So yeah, hopefully I can get a setup from Austin within the next few days, and that's pretty much a full lap already. It's not the longest track, and it is called a private soundtrack, so I assume he's gone for like a practice vibe kind of feel to the track. Good England. But yeah, I've got it on 0.6 E-road, so we should get a little bit of E-road coming through at some point. Just gets a little bit of a bit of practice with when the E-road kicks in, because I'm not sure, I don't know why, but they seem to run the E-road quite high, and I feel like on a soundtrack they're going to be absolutely horrible with it and put it on like 0.2 E-road or something, which is going to be like just a crazy amount of E-road for a 35-minute race. But who knows what they do. It seems to change every single week what E-road they run, and they sort of just like choose it on the day, depend on the track. So I'm hoping it isn't going to be too difficult. Watch the Southwick on the Friday. That was actually very good. I actually very enjoyed that race. And Moto 1s weren't the most enjoyable, but Moto 2s were really good racing. 250s and 450s. 250s battling right towards the end. VL, Shimoda and Deegan. All the way to the end. VL dropped it though on the final lap, and then Deegan was like, yeah, screw it. Give me the overall. And they just sort of brought it on home, just rode home. Wasn't really worried about catching Shimoda. So Shimoda won the second race, but Deegan pretty much let him have it. But I think Shimoda seems to always do well in sand, and then he starts like picking it up towards the end of the season, and then he's so far behind in points by the end because of the first few rounds. I don't know. He needs to start getting better at the first like opening rounds, and then he can definitely be on for a title fight. But yeah, I think Deegan has pretty much secured the chip. And 450s, Jet is continuously getting closer and closer to get that points lead back. He's won 2 overalls in a row. Is it 2 overalls in a row now? I'm not too sure. I think it is. But yeah, I think he's definitely on a roll. I think if he can keep getting some wins, I think he's still got a shoulder issue, which he said he wants to check out, maybe get MRI on it. So not too sure what's going on with his shoulder, but I mean, he seems to be doing alright with it. So I don't think he's going to do anything with it. I don't think he's going to miss any rounds or races from it. So hopefully he's okay to finish off the season and get the championship. Hunter has been doing very well. Hunter's been doing better than what I thought he would, and I think he's surprised a lot of people going into the 450s. This is his first year on the 450s in outdoors and Supercross. He was okay in Supercross, to be fair, but he seems to be shining in outdoors on that 450. Whether that's just because it suits his riding style more. Both Lawrences have a very smooth riding style, which I think is why they're both so good on the 450. I think their riding style definitely suits the 450s more than what the 250s do, because 250s you have to sort of rag the bike around, you can't really be smooth on a 250. You have to really like throw it around to get it to where you want it, especially with how quick the classes are. You can't just be smooth. You see Jet, for example, like bouncing, jumping around the soundtrack. And you got Sexton's just like smashing into everything, like the actual unit that he is on that 450, just bashing his way through all the sand. And yeah, I feel like that's why Jet and Hunter are so good on the 450s. Just their riding style is made for a 450, and I think a lot of people know that. So it doesn't surprise me that Hunter's got the red plate, but I did not think that it was going to be this close. I did not think he'd hold the red plate for this long. He's holding it up until a red bud, which is good. So I think he's going to lose it at red bud though. I will say, I think he's what, 3 points up, and all he needs to do, pretty much all Jet needs to do really is get the overall, and he's got the red plate back by a few points. So I think if he keeps winning the races like he is, if he goes back to Jet mode, no problem with him getting the championship. So I think it is going to be a Jet win the championship, and then it's going to be close between Chase and Hunter at the end, maybe even like 5 or 10 points between them towards the end. But it's definitely going to come down to the last few rounds, I feel like. So it's going to be good. I'm looking forward to it. And yeah, we've got a red bud next round, which is good. So looking forward to some red bud. It's going to be very, very interesting. And I think I kind of wanted Jet and Hunter to both go into red bud with a joint red plate. I think that would have been really, really cool. Two brothers in the 450 class with a joint red plate. And a red bud as well, with a whole like red vibe, whole like red, white and blue vibe with a red plate and everything. I think would look really, really cool. But yeah, it's a shame. I kind of wanted it to finish where it was. I can't remember what the order was for Jet and Hunter to be sharing the red plate. I think there was a point where they could have, but I think with Chase winning that race, I think that's what got rid of it. But I think that would have been quite cool to have. And yeah, going back to the track, I've just been running laps. It's a very, very short track. Well, it feels like a short track, but it's 2 minutes a lap. So I don't know. It's 1 minute 50 a lap time. You can probably get a lot quicker than that. Like I said, I'm literally talking and riding, so you can probably get like 140 something. I reckon, maybe low 140s, maybe even in the 30s. I don't know. I don't know how quick you can go around sand tracks these days. But yeah, I definitely do feel like this is a very, very good practice track leading up into Southwick. Isn't too rough, isn't too difficult, and I feel like that's what Southwick is going to be like. Southwick got kind of rough at the bottom of the hills, but it was kind of okay and flat everywhere else. So I don't know. I do kind of feel like it's definitely going to be a very, very flat sand track, but a bit like this, like I'm on now, like there's a few rollers, bumps, a few ruts. But I don't think it's going to be a super, super difficult, like a GP sand track. So I'm hoping it's kind of okay and it isn't too difficult, because yeah, I really, really do struggle with the GP sand track. So if it's a bit like this, I think I'll be okay. I'm not the best at sand, but I think I could deal with a track that isn't too difficult. I feel like the whole like 8 to 10, 8 to 11 range mark is sort of like a perfect amount for a video. I mean, it is bikes at the end of the day, you can only make it so interesting. And I mean, I'm just running laps on a track, so you know, let me know if you do want longer videos, but I think that 8 to 11 mark is sort of where you want to be. And yeah, we'll finish off this lap here and we'll call it there. But yeah, this track is free on mods. You guys will be seeing this on Tuesday, so the track's already out. And yeah, if you guys do want to get it, like I said, completely free on mods. And yeah, Typical Canadian for bringing a sand track out literally the week of Southwick. So I think I'm going to be grinding this track out for a little bit. I think I'm going to put a local up in a minute with Jake, and we're going to run a few laps on it together, get a bit of practice in, maybe whack the E-Road up. Like I said, I'm on 0.6 E-Road, so if you do want to get some proper practice in, maybe whack the E-Road up a little bit higher. I think I might do that when I ride with Jake, maybe put it up a little bit higher. And yeah, just get a bit of E-Road practicing, because who knows what the E-Road is going to be on. You never know until you're in the race. But yeah, I think hopefully qualifying goes okay. I know I'm not going to get a great qualifying, but if I can be within the top 20, I think, on a sand track, or top 15 on a sand track, I'll be content. I'll be happy with that. But yeah, this is TC's private sand track on Novice Mods, and yeah, appreciate you guys watching. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.